We'll quickly move on to Emma Thomas. As co-head of Global Business Origination for Africa, how is the organization supporting large infrastructure projects in East Africa?
Thank you. I will recap what UK Export Finance does in case there are new people in the audience that weren't able to hear from Francois, but I'll keep it brief and then maybe I'll move on to some specific examples. So as the government's export credit agency, we are a source of competitive financing for UK businesses that are exporting to East African markets, as well as to overseas buyers of UK goods and services. And that's perhaps where I'll really focus today's discussion on. So we've provided over $2 billion of financing across East Africa, from Ethiopia to Uganda, Tanzania, as well. They've really been our success stories, but we're absolutely keen to expand our footprint and our portfolio across the region. And we have a very active and developing pipeline, including in Kenya and some of the other markets. So really interested if you've got projects or prospects on your horizon that you'd like to discuss, please do find Francois and myself, as well as my colleague Paul, who's also in the audience, to discuss those. In short, we have a kind of simple set of product solutions in the form of insurance, direct loans, but the majority of the support that we provide is in the form of guarantees to commercial loans. So we're really talking about commercial financing, albeit at competitive rates and over long tenors. So if you're thinking about projects, we're particularly interested in what is the debt ask, as we only support on the debt side, not on the equity. And where are you looking at making significant capital investments? That's really where we come into play, and we can be quite a catalytic source of financing, helping to mobilize other financing parties to come around the table and make your projects happen. We have a very flexible offer. A minimum of 20% of the sourcing needs to come from the UK, and that can be goods and services. So you'll often see, and I think it's very well known, that the UK has a very strong engineering, design, architectural sectors. So typically we would see quite a lot of the UK content coming through in the services. But that said, it may also come in the form of goods as well. So if we're supporting roads, you would see that actually quite a high proportion of the UK content is the bitumen that goes into the kind of raw product, which I think is perhaps not often obvious, but shows the degree of flexibility in what we're able to offer as part of our financing solution.
Yeah. How do you manage and mitigate the risk involved in high potential investment?
Yeah, so effectively we are a risk management tool really for the commercial banks. So we provide a guarantee with a full strength and credit of the UK government, which means that the commercial bank will end up pricing the loan against UK government risk rather than the overseas buyer. So this effectively substitutes, say, Uganda's credit rating for the UK credit rating, acting as a credit enhancement. And that means the commercial banks are willing to lend at more competitive interest rates and also over longer tenors. So this is really, we're really quite an important tool actually in the kind of broader financing landscape across the continent. And we've, as Francois mentioned, provided hundreds of millions of pounds in support for Ugandan government priority projects, some really innovative ones too, in some pretty important strategic sectors.
Okay, thank you very much, Emma. We'll come back to you.
Hard to be concise. Fastest fingers first. I guess a competitive source of financing to enable you to deliver high impact projects which bring positive benefits to local communities in your country as well as benefits to the UK. So perhaps I'll condense that into mutual partnership.
Mutual partnership. Thank you very much, and pass the mic to your right.